All right. As you can see, we currently have the door right here, of little blue, still ripped apart. That is the door panel. Thank you to Charles for the switches. I have mounted broken switch, which was this one here, the driver's side one. What happens typically on these switches, I don't know if you can see it on here, but there's little tiny plastic thingies here, little tabs that when you push down, see how they go up and down? They kind of like spring loaded. Those things break and then your window stops working. Now I actually had a van before, or a car, where the switch went out, and I had it repaired by a mechanic at an auto repair place, and I think they charged me like $200 or $400. Isn't that crazy? I don't know how much these switch costs new, but Charles was able to get it from the salvage yard. He got me a whole set of them. So I put it in here for the driver's side and tested it, and it does work. So the door opens and closes again, which is great, because now I won't roast while driving. So these are the two switches, and then there's a third one that hooks up. It's on the door panel right now that goes up to the door lock. It goes right here. So the issue now is to figure out how to mount the metal bar to connect the door handle. This part right here. And you can see the door handle itself. Let me show you what it looks like on the other side. See, it's got little pieces of stuff where the metal rod goes into, and then that connects to the other side inside the door frame itself in here behind this weird assembly, and it's hard to get to. But I need to somehow get in there and hook up the assembly and hook it up to here so that the door handle will work. And that is the question. Can I do that? So this is the rod assembly I was talking about. It goes inside and mounts, connects between the plastic door handle on the inside and the component in there. And my question is, how do we mount this? It's been so long since it's been connected correctly. I'm gonna see if I can't figure it out, and I'll get back to the video. Sadly, it's hard to see behind this thing. This is where the, right here is where the assembly goes for attaching that metal rod right there that's on the floorboard right there. So I'm gonna open up the other side, the passenger side, to take a look and see how they mounted it, to try to see if that helps me with figuring out where it connects to exactly. And I might as well open up the other side just because I have to attach or put in a new window lever on the other side anyways. I think to take the door panel off, this plastic part off, I think you have to undo this part right here. Actually, that part's already undone. There's nothing to undo there. But there's a little screw right here, right by the speaker area right here, that comes out. I think that was it. And then there's clips that hold it in place. So I'm going to unscrew that and see if I can't take the thing off. Let's see what happens here. I don't know if you can see here what I'm trying to do. Little screw here. So it's a little Phillips screw. I think that's it. And then there's clips that hold it in place, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember how this thing pops out. It pops up. There's like little clips. These little round clip thingies here that hold it in place. I'm gonna have to break them. Junk falling out of there. Then it comes kind of up and over. A hard time getting it into the clip or something. Yeah, there's something, it's caught on something, so there's something else that's holding it. Yeah, it's just the end over here where it's caught. As far as I know, there's nothing holding it. Oh wait, they got the screw here holding it right here by the kind of weird. I think there is a screw here holding it, and the door handle, the door handle slot itself right here. I don't know if you can see that. I think that might be holding it right there. So I'm going to unscrew that. See if that doesn't release it. Alright, so we got this little screw out, and we're going to try it and see if we can't get it off now. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now this is the part that's a pain. Metal rod here. I'm trying to see how it connects here. It's hard to even see what's going on. Let me unplug everything and disconnect it over here. I do it without breaking anything. Opening it's not really helping me much. I can't even see under here. Trying to look at it from this side isn't going to help. I might have to go to YouTube and see if they can help, but I don't think they can help because it's hard to see up under there. You're kind of having to work blind. But I am going to go ahead and look at the switch and remove the switch and replace it. Let me let this sit here. Alright, I've unplugged the switch on this side of the console. I'll put this here so it doesn't fall off. You don't want this falling out because then I might not be able to get in on this side, and then the door won't work on this side either. But basically I need to unscrew the little switch right there itself and then put in a new one. If that can work at least. This was the replacement component, the replacement switch that Charles sent me for the passenger side, so that's what we're going to put on. Basically there are screws on the back side here holding it in place. So I'm going to have to unscrew this. Looks like 2 screws. Here then is the assembly itself. I don't see a broken actuator on here. So it may not be a switch issue on this side, it might be something else. The actuator seems to work, but we're going to go ahead and plug it in. If it's not the actuator, there's something else. I can open and close this window using the switch from the driver's side. It just doesn't want to work from the switch on the passenger side. But we're going to go ahead and swap it out anyway since we got it out. Alright, looks like it mounts correctly. So what we're going to do at this point is mount it in here. Alright, I got it mounted, so it's a matter of attaching the little plug here. It's a keyed plug. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera here, but it's a little keyed plug that goes in here and locks into place. I'm going to do that. You can hear it snap. Then it's a matter of putting this back on here. Looking at this metal pole here, it looks like it does nothing. I guess it was supposed to hold it in place there, but it didn't really do anything. Just letting things sit on it. But the rod doesn't go, it's nice to know that the rod doesn't go in it. So I can see now the rod doesn't sit inside that, so I'll know not to try to force it in. Alright, let's try to get this all back together here. Okay. And then we gotta line up the little plastic things, kind of press it into place. And we're going to screw everything back together here. So this is the screw that holds this side right here. There we go. Now, I've got to do the other side, which is the big thing. So, we'll see if we can't get it back together. Alright, I'm going to try to go ahead and attach this assembly right here, this bracket that goes right up here. Even though I still haven't figured out how the metal rod's going to go back in there. It's going to be like trial and error. But for now, I'll just go ahead and mount this so I get something done. The reason this got all bent and stuff was initially the rod broke. The plastic part, the little white or purple part broke on there, and it wouldn't stay in anymore. So I had to bend the metal, make it all weird shape to get it to stay. And the door did work, just not super smooth, you know, because it's all bent weird. But since Charles was going to the junkyard to get parts anyways, I went ahead and thought maybe I should go ahead and try to fix it correctly. There's supposed to be some kind of vapor barrier here, some kind of plastic that goes over this to protect it, but I'm not going to bother putting one on right now because I may have to get back in here again. And I've been operating it like this, you know, for about 2 years without it, and it's been fine. Let me see if I can't figure out how to mount that. I'm not going to film this whole process because it may not happen and you could be sitting here for an hour. And I got to go to work anyways. So if it works, I'll continue filming so you can see what happens. Alright, I'm doing something kind of bad. I took this tip off the end there. This went onto the rod and it pokes into the hole to hold it in place. And then the rod comes out here. I had to take it out because I couldn't force it in there and get enough leverage to push this in. You know how it locks into place? So I just took the metal rod out and I was able to get it in without this plastic. And I know it can fall back out easily, but at least I can try to get it to work. And if it works, hopefully it'll hold and stay. Ideally this would be back in there, but it's got all this metal here. You cannot get to that. You would need someone with tiny little hands, like a midget or something, to get in there to work on this. I can't reach it. So I took it off. I'm going to save this and then maybe tackle it again. But you can see I got the metal rod in place. Now it's going to be a matter of trying to mount everything and see how it works. So we're going to try to put our panel back on. That means attaching everything. These are the cables for, it's got the connectors for the door, you know, the lock, the auto lock system. Got an auto lock here. Then it's got the driver and the passenger side, which I left the screws here, so I'm going to screw these in. And I think I'll do that first. So we're going to unscrew all this and re-screw our assembly back into place here. There's no way to mount it incorrectly because they have little bracers here with the screw holes that shows you where it goes, so you can't put it on wrong. That's a good thing. You know, it's like one's left, one's right, so you can't just put it wherever you want it. So I'm essentially just mounting the switches itself right now to the little holder down here. I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing. Maybe I'll take the camera and show you once I finish screwing it in what happened here, because I don't have somebody else operating the camera. It's just sitting on a tripod right now. Alright, let me show you real quick here what was actually done. And if you can see that, essentially I was screwing these little guys in here to hold it in place, and as I was mentioning, they're actually keyed. You know, it only goes one way. You can't put it in backwards, so that's a real good thing. So now all that remains to be done is to mount this plug here to the door assembly here for the door lock, electronic door lock. And then to try to mount this, that's the critical part, onto the latch here, so that when I pull on the door handle, it'll open the door like it's supposed to. So wish me luck. This once again is keyed, so it'll only go in one way. Question is which way. Alright, it's keyed, it's locked into place. Now it's the hard part. This part. Well, that didn't seem too hard. Well, it fell out again, so it is hard. This is the part why that metal rod got bent to start off with, because I ended up, as long as it didn't fall off on the inside, we're good. I've got to try to get this to go in here. Let me try to get this door right here. Alright, I got it in. Now the idea is to mount it without moving. If I can not move things, because it'll fall off again. Oh, I think it's together. Let me try this out. Hang on a minute here. I'm going to screw this in so it doesn't fall apart. Alright. Appears to be mounted. Let's try her out and see what happens here. Start the car up. Window opens. I'm able to open the window up and down. See, this opens. The other one opens and closes from this side. And door lock works. Sort of. Sort of works. Might need a charge. The other side, the window also works, but I'll show you here. I tested it earlier when I first got back into the van. But this was the switch we replaced back here because it didn't work. But now, thanks to Charles, thank you very much, all the windows work. Thank goodness. So the windows work. Now the question is, uh-oh, that's not good. It seemed like it was really loose. I think it fell off. I'm pretty sure it fell off. That's going to be a problem. I think I heard it fall off. Well, it looks like the door handle fell off. You know, the rod inside that connects, because this door doesn't work at all. So I have to take everything apart and try to do that connection again. That's why initially the rod was bent all weird, was because the plastic piece had either broken or fallen out, and I ended up having to bend the metal to hold it in place. And it looks like I may have to do that again, which is kind of bad, unless I can get that plastic to stay. This is kind of a pain, but it's kind of critical. It's the driver's side door. Alright, I'm running out of time because I got to get to work here. But I thought I'd show you what I'm going to try to do. I ended up bending this into more of a hook. It was more of an L shape before, but I bent it back a little bit more to try to be a hook to hold in place. And I removed the plastic tab that's supposed to lock it into place to try to get it to go and catch that little hole and hook. It'll be loose, but it worked before. That's what I did to do the initial repair, and that's what I'm going to have to do now because I can't get it in. I've been sitting here for hours trying to get the stupid thing in, and I cannot. So I bent it, and we'll see what happens at this point. Alright, I hooked it back in using the, making that little hook, because it's easier to put it in without that plastic thing in the way. Now it's just a matter of trying to get it to stay in place here on this end. And getting everything remounted. I think I'm going to replace this white plastic tip with the other rod, because this one looks a little worn, so we're going to do that. I'm going to replace this tip here. Get it off. See, this piece here was broken, so I'm going to replace it. So I'm taking this purple component right here. This is the one that was on the end that was supposed to go inside the door. And I'm going to put it on the tip right there and mount it to the door handle. At least that's the plan, at least. We'll see what happens here. It should make this part a little wider, so when it comes in here, hopefully it'll lock into place. Now, putting it back on, I have to go over the over the doorknob thingy, the door thing. Then I'm going to try to lock this in place if I can. This is kind of a pain. And I got it pushed. I think it's in. Appears to be in. Everything appears to be back and in place. At least as good as we can get it. And we're going to try to screw this all together and then test everything out again. Alright. I think we're in. Let's see if we can shut and open the door now. And the door opens. Woohoo! You won't realize how happy this is unless you've ever had a door that doesn't open from the inside, the driver's door, which you use all the time. So let me start up the car, check out the windows, and see if we're all up and ready to go. Checking the window. It is working. We have window, driver's side, passenger side window works. The remote door lock doesn't work so well. It could have worked, it's stuck. I don't know if it's just it needs a charge or that's not critical. I can manually lock everything if I need to, but having working windows and having a door that opens and shuts, this is important. Thank you, Charles. I got to get to work right now because I have to go into work this afternoon. I'll be working till 10 o'clock at night. So, thank you all for tuning in. It looks like repair wasn't perfect, but you know, it at least works. And I'm happy because I can now open and shut the door again. And open and shut the window.